Alright, good afternoon agents. We're back in the shooting range with another build video. This build is actually okay for solo, although in a group it is amazing. I believe this is the highest base damage and highest DPS without any buffs that you're going to see on an MP5. So with that in mind, let's get into it. My MP5 is doing 490,000 DPS. My lightweight M4 is doing 470,000 base DPS. No buffs here, guys. Okay, let's get into the MP5 first. Crit chance could be slightly higher, but this is still the best MP5 I've found. 27.4 base damage. Deadly, responsive, and competent. Get into my mods. Crit chance, headshot damage, crit damage. I could trade this off for a little more crit chance, but quite honestly, you'll see my crit chance is already so high, I don't need to. The grip, crit chance, stability, reload speed. Magazine, the one that's for sale upstairs, 120% size, crit damage, and rate of fire. Scope, crit damage, headshot damage, crit chance, the trifecta. Now, this lightweight M4 is not the one I have been using. This actually dropped for me last night in a contaminated event, and it is max roll damage. I went and checked with the calibration station, or sorry, the crafting table. This is the max roll damage you can get. Max enemy armor damage, and it dropped this way. Deadly, brutal, responsive. Now, I would prefer not to have brutal on it. I'd rather have adept or fierce. However, for this build, I'd need to add some electronics, and I haven't decided if I want to do that yet. Yes, I could use more skill power before you all start chiming in, saying, oh, you know, your heals are terrible, whatever. I have decent health on this, I think 216,000 health, so it's actually not as squishy as you might think. But again, it's not super tanky by any means. Oops. And what I put on my lightweight M4, crit chance, headshot damage, crit damage. I do keep some stability on this gun. If I put a crit damage mod on, it goes up slightly, but quite honestly, I find it almost impossible to handle, so that's why I'm doing that. And again, the same mag, reload or crit damage, mag size, and rate of fire. And I have a crit chance scope on here because, as we all know, assault rifles have very low crit chance. Okay, let's get into the gear. Reckless chest piece, very well rolled. I prefer this to have skill haste on it, but it doesn't. That's okay. This isn't a skill build anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And 2 firearms mods with health. I have firearms mods with health on every piece. Classified final measure mask with 4% crit chance, blind depth resistance. It is rolled for 1400 firearms. I've got another firearms with health mod on there. Classified Lone Star knee pads, rolled with health, again 1400 firearms. I'd rather not have increased kill XP, but whatever, you know, in general, and damage to elites, I really don't care. I'm looking for a better pair of knee pads. So I have some other ones, but just playing around with it, you know. And again, I have a firearms mod with health. Holster is a Deadeye classified holster, well rolled. Stamina is the only weak point, but quite honestly, stamina is not all that important. Now, I do have crit chance on this. I might switch this to health. I have another one that I was using, this final measure holster here, with the other build that had health on it. But as it stands now, I'm using this one because I kind of had to work it around, so I only had one piece of each. And that's because I'm using skull gloves. Max rolled, high armor, SMG damage. Crit damage could be a little bit higher, and crit chance could be 1% higher, but all around these are nice skull gloves. I haven't gone through my inventory. I may have another pair. They drop like candy now, and I may switch to assault rifle. But for now, these are what I'm using. And a specialized backpack rolled for firearms. It's got health on it, bleed resistance, and again, firearms mods with health, and I have first aid self-heals on each mod. Going to my character sheet. You'll see why I'm not worried about crit chance. My MP5 without any pulse is 39.5% crit chance. 114% crit damage. On other builds, I've had the crit damage up to 125%, but this is the way it's working out right now, and it's really working well. Get down to my health here. You can see 216,000 health. It's not too squishy. Good armor mitigation. Decent health regeneration. Could be better, obviously, but at 216,000, I'm not finding it's too squishy. Talents, pulse, booster shot. You know. Now, the talents I've been playing around here, I did have triage to get the skill cooldowns. The problem is, and I've been going back and forth with adrenaline and triage because I'm not popping my booster shot very often, so I'm not finding it to be all that helpful. But I'm still playing around with it, so we may do that. But this thing absolutely wrecks. Look at the lag. This thing absolutely wrecks. Tons and tons of damage, as you can see. You know, 54,000, 64,000 crit hits. When I pop my booster shot, my stats obviously go way through the roof. 33,000 base, 35,000 base with the MP4, or the lightweight M4 rather, and the MP5. You're not going to get more damage than that. And let me tell you something. It does not take long to melt, guys. You know, 93,000 to the head. This build is phenomenal. And the idea behind this build is to melt them before they melt you. Yes, I could use more toughness. But the toughness number is kind of deceiving because, like I said, my health isn't terrible. I'll show you my stats for my lightweight. 23% crit chance, which is not too bad, really. 85 crit damage. A lot of headshot because of brutal. I may roll brutal off, but if I do, then I have to add some more electronics. The other gun I was using, rather than this, or the other weapon, was this LVOAC. Oh, no, I'm lying. Lightweight M4. With responsive, deadly, and competent. And you can see, though, the reason I picked this up is this other one has 400 extra base damage. And since this is a DPS build, I'm going for maximum damage possible. The build is great, guys. It really is. It really is. 490,000 DPS. It's just punching the crap out of players. I can run through 2 elite NPCs through 1 magazine in the dark zone and the light zone. This has really been a fun build. Kind of a Frankenstein build, but you know, I like DPS builds, and I've been kind of pushing to see how high I could get it. If I put you know, if I put the crit damage grip on the lightweight M4, my DPS goes up another 10,000, but again, for me, I'll end up missing the majority of my shots. I already missed too many shots. My aim is horrible at times. So I need some kind of stability on that gun. And I've said this time and time again, doesn't matter how high your DPS is if you're only hitting cars and buildings and whatnot and not hitting your target. So to me, having some stability on there is a must. All around, a lot of fun, guys. Really enjoying it. I'm going to keep playing with it. I may, the way I had it before was with skill power rather than a crit chance, and I may change that. I may re-roll that still. I was using a different mask at the time. But we'll see. I was using this mask and a final measure holster. So I can get a little more skill power, but honestly, the little extra skill power doesn't make that much of a difference. So in my mind, with this build, the best way to do it is to just burst down your enemies, burst down the NPCs as fast as possible before you die. Alright guys, anyway, that was the quick build video. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to hearing your comments. Like and subscribe. I will be streaming again soon. I heard some bans are starting to get handed out for RPM glitching, which is nice to hear, because I'm tired of getting killed by guys in a split second. I'm sure you all are too. But again, I don't blame the players. I blame Massive and Ubisoft for making a broken game and not fixing it in the first place. They should have fixed this immediately. But it seems that every patch we get has some new game-breaking glitch, unfortunately. If I didn't love the game as much as I do, I'd walk away from it. I did walk away from it for a while, but I just love this game too much. I enjoy it too much. So anyway, guys, that's the build. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, like and subscribe, and leave your comments. I'd love to know what you think, good or bad, whether you agree with it or not. I do have some gameplay with this build from previous streams, and I will be streaming later today so you can see some action in the Dark Zone. Until then, agents, have a great day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the dark zone.